In this video, we will discuss estimating doubtful accounts. Okay? And before dyan, no? So, shout out kay Harold John Rojas. Sabi niya, ang galing mo, sir. Wow. Thank you, Harold. Okay. So, let's discuss estimating doubtful accounts. So, in estimating doubtful accounts, may tatlong methods. Okay? May percentage of net credit sales method, percentage of receivables, at aging of receivables. Okay, sige. Check natin. I-compare and i-contrast natin ang tatlong methods na to. So, first is, ano ba ang kino-compute sa percentage of net credit sales method? Okay? So, ang percentage, kung i-multiply natin sa net credit sales, ang lalabas ay eto, bad debt expense. So, check natin no, sa T account. Okay? So, ito yung magiging kalalabasan. Okay? Next, kapag gamitin naman natin ang percentage of receivables, in which kapag i-multiply natin yung specific percentage sa receivables, okay, ang lalabas ay ang ending balance ng allowance for bad debts, which is ito. Okay? Again, compare natin, no? Percentage of net credit sales, ang product ay ito, bad debt expense. Percentage of receivables, ending balance ng allowance for bad debts. Okay. So, similarly, okay, aging of receivables, kapag i-multiply natin ang rate sa accounts receivable according to their days outstanding or past due, okay, ang lalabas ay similar sa percentage of receivables, allowance for bad debts, ending balance din. Okay? Sige. Next, saan nga ba minumultiply ang percentage? Okay? Etong percentage dito sa percentage of net credit sales, okay? Minumultiply siya sa, of course, net credit sales, which is sales minus cash sales, parang matira na lang ay credit sales, minus sales returns and discounts attributable to credit sales. Okay, so hindi natin pwedeng i-minus dito yung sales returns and discounts na attributable sa cash sales. Okay, so pwede lang natin bawasan yung sales returns and discounts na attributable sa credit sales. Okay, next, dito naman sa percentage of receivables. Saan natin minumultiply ang percentage? Okay? Minumultiply natin ang percentage sa accounts receivable ending balance. Okay? Ito. Okay? Next, aging of receivables. So, saan natin minumultiply yung various rates? Okay? So, maraming rates. Okay? Usually, mas patagal ng patagal ang isang accounts receivable na outstanding or past due, mas lumalaki ang chances na maging uncollectible siya. Okay? So, ang nakalagay dito, i-multiply ang mga rates, okay, sa accounts receivable depende sa number of days outstanding or past due. So, ano bang difference ng outstanding sa past due? Ang ibig sabihin ng outstanding ay similar sa term na existing. Okay? Samantalang ang past due, ibig sabihin beyond the deadline. Okay? So, for example, pag ang isang accounts receivable, let's say nag-exist na siya for 10 days, pero ang credit terms ay N30 or net 30. Okay? Ilang days na siya outstanding? Tama. 10 days. Ilang days na siya past due? Tama. 0. Okay, wala pa. Kasi hindi pa naman siya past deadline. Okay? So, how about, let's say, ang credit terms, same pa rin, N30. Kaso, ang accounts payable, okay, outstanding na siya for 45 days. Okay? So, ilang days na siya outstanding? Tama, 45 days. Ilang days na siya past due? 15 days pa lang. Okay? Very good. So, next, ano naman tong it favors? Or anong financial statement pumapabor ang iba't ibang methods? So, pag gagamit tayo ng percentage of net credit sales method, it favors the income statement. Okay? Sang-ayon siya sa matching principle. So, ang bad debt expense ay imamatch natin sa net credit sales. So, di ba? Matchy-match lang. Samantalang if gagamit tayo ng percentage of receivables at aging of receivables, it favors the statement of financial position. So implicit din dito na hindi niya sinusuportahan ang matching principle. Bakit? Kasi nga yung basis natin is an asset account. Okay? Hindi siya directly related sa revenue account. Okay? Unlike dito sa percentage of net credit sales. So next, paano naman ang computation of percentage? Okay, let's start with aging of receivables. Okay, so yung mga percentage, based siya sa experience ng entity. Okay, usually sa mga exams, binibigay na lang yan agad-agad. Okay, next, punta naman tayo sa percentage of receivables. So ito usually lumalabas sa mga quizzes and exams. Okay, so paano i-compute yung percentage kapag hindi given? So, lahat ng write-offs minus lahat ng recoveries divided by net credit sales. Okay? Again, write-offs or yung tawag ni Harold dyan ay WOFs, di ba? Minus recoveries divided by net credit sales. So, ganyan lang mag-compute ng percentage. Next, paano naman mag-compute ng percentage sa percentage of net credit sales method? So, same lang, no? Halos magkaparehas lang sila. So, bad debt expense, okay, minus recoveries, same dito sa baba, divided by credit sales or net credit sales to be more precise. Okay, so yung kaibahan lang nila, no? Yun sa taas, yung basis niya is bad debt expense minus recoveries. Ito naman, write-offs minus recoveries. Okay ba? Sige. So, we will answer activity 13.7, percentage of credit sales, in another video.